Major funding for these broadcasts has been provided by grants from New York Community Bank, Capital One Bank, Eastern Consolidated, M&T Bank, Sterling National Bank, Meridian Capital Group, the Witkoff Organization, Customers Bank, Ariel Property Advisors, Chase Commercial Term Lending, Chase Mortgage Lending, Perfect Building Maintenance, Genova Burns. Additional funding has been provided by AKA Hotels, Corman Communities, AmTrust Title Insurance Company, AVR Realty Company, Bank of America Merrill Lynch, Bank Leumi USA, Briarwood Organization, CBRE, Citizens Bank, Cohen Equities, Colliers International NYC, Collins Building Services, Connect One Bank, CPEX Real Estate Services, Dime Community Bank, Douglaston Development, Levine Builders, Flushing Bank, Friedman LLP, Handro Properties, Handler Real Estate Organization, HAP Investments, Hodges Ward Elliott Inc., Investors Bank, James D. Kuhn Real Estate Center at Syracuse University, Kilroy Architectural Windows, Madison Realty Capital, Matone Group, Mercantile Bank, New Banks, Newmark Grubb Knight Frank, Optimum Window Manufacturing Corp., People's United Bank, Polsonelli, Rosewood Realty Services, SJP Properties, Stonehenge Partners, TD Bank, Terra CRG, the Knackle Group at Cushman & Wakefield, Maring Goff Family Foundation, the Moynihan Group, and these friends.
I want to be an artist? Massachusetts, Connecticut, the Art Students League? I like Ludwig? Nah, pop art? Satirical art? The end of the world? A movie art bastard? I have the legendary painter artist, Robert Senindella. Thank you for being here today.
Oh, great to be here.
Now, we're going to get to the story about The Art Bastard, which is a great movie that's won a number of awards in a little while, okay? But tell me about your family, Senindella's family, coming back where they came from Italy.
Well, it's true, they came from Italy, and I was born...
No, I want to hear about them.
You want to hear about them?
Okay.
Well,
I mean, your name is Senindella. We may learn later on in the story that you're not Senindella, but...
Well, he was a writer, a guy who supported the arts, and it was very lucky in my case because for a number of reasons, that seemed to be the only thing I could excel in, was art.
But Senindella his family comes from Italy, when, in the end of the...
like 1900, somewhere in that area, yeah.
And they settled where, in Massachusetts?
In Milford, Massachusetts, which was a shoe, like a shoe manufacturing town, like a little town right not too far from Boston.
Senindella was a author. I mean, he was a writer and author. Did he go to college?
Oh yeah, he went to Colgate University, and then he was the principal of the Stacy High School in Milford.
So you were born when Senindella and your mother were living in Massachusetts?
Yes, that's it.
Now, where'd your mother come from?
She was born in Lancaster, England, and her mother was a baker, and my grandfather was a loafer. No, I don't mean to make a joke about a loaf of bread or something, but he was, when they got here, the Depression and so on, he was always kind of unemployed, and he was known for what he did with the horse race, the dog races. He was a famous. He made his living.
So how did your father, Mr. Senandela, meet your mother?
As a teacher at the Stacy High School in Milford, she actually went to the same. She went to that high school, and that's how they met. Her family was on the wrong side of the tracks, and his family was on the right side of the track. And then
Now, you were the youngest of the three, correct? You had two sisters.
two older sisters.
Right, one who's deceased. So tell me about growing up in Connecticut.
Well, I found Connecticut was great for me. I think that all childhoods are great. I think you live, no matter what your situation is in life. It's like, hey, I had my dogs. I liked being outside. I walked to school in those days. You could walk. I used to hitchhike. And it was no problem. It was a different world. It was a different world.
Now, you really got interested in art because of Moby Dick. What happened? You like the illustrations in the book?
Yeah, Moby Dick. I think I must have been. I can remember back to about 4 years old, and I remember just from that time on, it was like Moby Dick was like, it was illustrated by Rockwell Kent, and brilliant illustrations. It was like his famous book because it's Moby Dick as well.
Because there's this big whale over here.
So I in the morning, I remember waking up in the morning, and the first thing I do, I'd go get that book, and I'd go through it and look at and I was also fascinated, but there was it had 700 pages in the book. It was like a long, so a lot of illustrations also.
So when did you start painting? At 5 or 6?
Yeah, I was a painter from, day one. All kids like to, but I just did it a little.
I
more
mean, I
seriously.
just can't scribble correctly. There's a talent in what you did.
Well, everyone. I think you are born with a certain ability or talent anyway, but many more people have artistic. I teach at the Art Students League, and I know that I bring out a lot of people who think they can't, do anything with art are able to do more than they think.
Your mother and father were married. It was a difficult marriage at the beginning. Your father, at that time, he was writing for Helen Hayes and the theatrical group, right? And he's planning to take the three of you away from your mother and move to New York City. And what happens?
Well, I was 6.5, and I happened to overhear this conversation that they were having, which unfortunately the conversation was about. She finally said, "Well, you can take Penny and you can take Joan, but you can't take Bobby because he's not even yours." And so that was like that's one of those defining moments in your life. Now at 6.5, you're not really. You kind of just know that you're no longer the same, let's say, or you're not quite the member of the family that you think. You don't know.
It's like the child learning you're adopted.
Yeah.
At a certain time.
Yeah, it's like I'm adopted, but I don't really know I'm adopted. But I know something is different, and of course he is finding out exactly the same time I'm finding out, and so that something which I never told him, but from that time on until I'm 22, he thinks that I don't know, and
so he didn't realize until you were 22 that you realized
that I knew. Somewhere
he wasn't your biological father.
Yeah, right.
So he takes your two sisters to New York,
Right.
and you're living with your mother.
Correct.
And you said to me at this time, your mother, being a little unstable, was put into a sanitarium.
Yeah, they had a nice name for It was more, it was, I guess you'd call it nervous breakdown, but I was glad it wasn't called an asylum, because somehow that has that has a different connotation.
The sanitarium sounded
Sanitarium. Yeah, I guess it's sanitized. It's like what?
But what was interesting is that you said to me that the person who was your governess, who was watching over you at this time, made you change your hands because you were a lefty.
I was born left-handed. Yeah.
Born left-handed, and she felt it was like criminal for you to be painting or doing work with your left hand, and you should be a right hand.
Yeah, anything, eating with my left hand, and it was like very. She was very stern about it. It was like you get a little stick on the rear end and that kind of thing. But that was so I was very well taught to finally use my right hand.
So you stay in Connecticut until you're 12, right?
Yeah.
What happens at the age of 12?
Well, at the age of 12, I then go to New York, and
You go to New York to live with your father and
yeah,
your two sisters.
and actually to learn how to read. Oddly enough, because I had I call it dyslexia. Some people call it dyslexia, but my case was so bad. But when you're right-handed and switch to left-handed, a lot of things go on. A lot of people, even Nelson Rockefeller, they discovered that he had dyslexia, and he couldn't read very well, and so on and so on. So the same thing happened to me, but my primary reason for going to New York was to learn how to read. I was reading Dick and Jane at the age of 13, and not too well, by the way.
So you come to New York, and your dad is living at this time at Dad and your two sisters are living at 310 West 79th Street.
Yeah, that's right.
A little bohemian on the Upper West Side, okay? So where do you go to public school when you start?
Okay, there was a school on it was on West 82nd Street. And when I got into music and art, I think most of the stuff I did was with my left hand.
So which hand do you paint with today?
Now I paint with my right hand.
Your dad was this world-renowned Sandella, okay?
Right.
Okay, not your biological dad, which we'll get to in a little while, was this writer, and he was earning a good living. And what happens with McCarthy?
Well, 1953, we were living kind of high off the hog. We had a lot of good things happening. And he is, he's the head of the Radio Writers Guild, and writers and artists and actors were, of course, suspicious to McCarthy and anyone who was worried about communism. And he would not answer the simple question, are you now, or have you ever been a member of the Communist Party? And he didn't answer it, not because he was a communist, but because he said it was none of your business. He says he's an American, and he didn't have to, So on principle, he would not answer the question, and then I lived in poverty from that point on.
How old were you at this time?
I was, I guess I must have been about 14.
Now the family is living in poverty, and what happens?
Well, music and art was it was a disappointment to me in terms of how they taught art. So I got more interested in writing. And it was during that time where the atom bomb drills, I don't know if you remember those, but they actually had atom bomb drills, and they had a safety.
3 bells, 2 bells, right?
Three bells, and then 2 bells. Then it's a fire. But if it's 3 bells and 4 bells, then it's the atom bomb, right? So I never could quite understand the safety measures. That it didn't matter where you were in the high school. If you were in the basement, you would go up 7 flights to your official class, or if you were in the 7th floor, you get down to the basement. You had to be with your official class, And I liked everything about the program, except I wrote an article about it, defending but I said that I couldn't stand my official teacher, and I refused to be blown up on the same floor with her. And this led to
But you distributed approximately 2,000 copies.
Oh yeah,
with an
oh,
A.B. Dick machine, right?
Oh yeah, no, I had my own printing facility, and I had handed out I had made up 2,000 copies, and that's not that easy, by the way, on a A.B. Dick. That's like you got to
One at a time, right?
one at a time. And I guess I was the first person ever to be expelled from this specialty high school, but it was for a good cause.
But before, there were two incidents about the expel. One was the auditorium. What happened in the auditorium with you and the principal and your long hair?
Well, I had, we wouldn't believe it now, but I had longer hair than the Beatles. So they had an auditorium. When this article, everyone was reading it, and it was like it got written up in some magazines and so. But anyway, so the guy gets up, and the head of the school, and he says, he says, this piece of paper, this article. He says, you think this is funny? And he said, this is propaganda. This is propaganda. And then he likened me to Hitler. And for if you're 17 and you're like, being, accused or likened to Hitler, but I had very long hair, and he finally points to me and says, you with the long hair, you stand up. And of course he was bald. So I said to him, what are you, jealous? And that was the end of we never went beyond that, but who knows what he would have.
Now, but what was interesting is that Senandela said to you, why don't you change your position, right? What?
Well, he said that because then I was expelled, and he felt that, I should get a high school diploma. And he came to the school, and they made a deal with him. They said, well, okay, if he signs the oath, because you had to sign an oath in high school those days. I am not now, nor have ever been a member of the Communist Party.
Wait, you had to sign an oath about the Communist Party?
Oh yes,
also?
oh yeah. So, but I wouldn't do it. But I didn't do it partly because, hey, I'm brought up with a guy who I look up to also didn't do it. But he's trying to get me to do it because he wants me to get, but I wouldn't do it, and I got expelled.
Now we have the kid living in a little poverty, still living at 310 West 79th Street. We don't know how. Yeah. Okay, the two older sisters, and Art Students League. What happens?
Well, it's funny how so things can lead. So getting expelled seems like a terrible thing. You're not going to have a. Then I find out about the Art Students League, which is the only art school that says you don't need a degree of any kind. You just have to want to learn how to paint, draw, sculpt, etc. It was perfect, but it was the only fix for me. I wasn't about to go to Yale or something.
So what does Senandela say about the Art Students League at this time?
Well, I think he was, at that point, he was just
he was very
happy that I could do anything.
And what about your mother at this time? Where is she at this time?
Well, she, by this time, she has actually kind of turned herself around, and she is becoming an RN. And so she's, but she's out in Long Island. And here, but I know that she was very much amused by the article I wrote on the atom bomb drills. So she was supportive, but she was busy getting herself together.
Now let's briefly bring into effect your biological father, Spears. Okay.
Oh, Spears! I forgot.
Yeah, Spears. Okay, Spears, the man who was your mother's lover. Okay, is a Colgate professor where your father, where Senandela went to school.
Right. He was Senandela's professor. He was a Shakespeare professor.
Senandela was a student of Spees.
Yes, he was a student.
When did you learn who was your biological dad?
Well, I probably pretty much at the same time, because Spears was. He was like, how you have this uncle, this kind of uncle that comes and visits every once in a while.
You have
never
no
know
idea.
why. Yeah, he just
Good Uncle Jack.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And and he was an army man. He came, and I remember being very interested in the fact that he had the army cap and the thing and so on. But somehow the second when my mother says to me, she said, "Daddy is not your father." Right? And I remember, interesting choice of words, but I somehow said, "Oh, is it Russ?" And so I had this. Was like almost.
So you learned about Russ when you were 6.5.
No. I learned it at 22.
What happens at 22?
Well, at 22, I get this. My life is like, say, wow, now it's official. Even though I had buried it all those years, it's now becomes official, and I'm kind of feeling like I'm a new man, I'm all this kind of thing. And then I took a trip back to my house to tell everyone else that I just learned what he was, but unfortunately my mother had pulled the rug from under me, and she had already called everyone in the family. So when I came into the house, there was like this kind of a dead silence, and I'm thinking, oh God. So I had about a half hour of feeling like, hey, this is a new life, a new thing. And then it went right back. The secret started, it was more prevalent then, because everyone then still wanted to keep it a secret, because they just found out about this thing that they didn't want to.
No publicity.
It's not like the kind of thing you want to. So the secret really begins the real secret begins when I'm 22.
Okay, and continues later until
I'm
into 2016 for the movie. But let's get back to, you're at the Art Students League, and you need money because Senandela doesn't have money. He's blacklisted. He's able to earn some money by writing for other people, pen naming for the other people. So what do you do? This world of buttons.
Yeah, the world buttons were a big thing in those days, and I clearly I'm a bit of an outsider, in my life. And,
no one would say you were an outsider.
But on the other hand, I came up with this button with another guy at the
my I. Ludwig button.
Came up with this, and the menace in those days was Elvis. Now I was in the perfect place to sell the things, because I was in music and art. Right, there were 1,000 music students, and that's where I started selling the buttons.
But you told me you sold the buttons around the country.
Oh yeah, but no. Oh, this thing went. This went. They would call it viral now. They didn't have the internet or anything like that. But it went viral because Isaac Stern appeared.
How did the legendary Isaac Stern get an I Love Ludwig?
Well,
button?
they were sold in stores. I went. In those days, if you wanted to promote something, you did it. You get on your bicycle or whatever. You go from one store to another. Hey, would you like? They have a placard. You got these things, and they say, well, we'll try them out, right? And then if they sold them all, you come back and you replenish.
So how much were these buttons being sold for?
They were 25 cents, and the proceeds put me through the Art Students League, and even had a little bank account.
But tell me about Isaac Stern and the button.
Well, his. However, someone I think probably got it and gave it to him, because he was, Isaac Stern. He played Beethoven and this and that and the other thing. So he wore it
at Carnegie Hall.
At Carnegie Hall, and that was, that got in the newspapers. He's wearing. And then
did it say that it was created by Robert Senandela?
Yeah, oh yeah. I had
it was your first article.
I got used to. I liked seeing my name in the paper. I must say, it was not a thing that I didn't enjoy. But from there it went, from it just turned into a national thing. It was sold around the country,
And you made enough money to take the class.
take the class, and I even helped out the family a little bit. Could put a little money into the, a little payback there. So it was. So I've always liked capitalism, by the way, even though
you're
right back at.
right, it's a little satirical.
Yeah, but I feel that capitalism is I just think that that capitalism can be used to control capitalism, to when it gets out of hand, and that's the most difficult part. Is that sometimes you can't sell
I would assume that you did this portrait of Ludwig also.
this one. No, I picked that up from this is a famous painting of Mr. Ludwig.
Okay, so what we're going to do is in part 2 we're going to talk about who you meet, who has a major effect on your life in the art world at the Art Students League, and then we're going to talk about the next, let's say, close to 50 years in the world of art.
No.
When we follow up in the second part of the life of the legendary satirical painter, artist,
So, yeah, some could
businessman.
Call me, they're not. Some people call me a capitalist socialist, or even a communist capitalist. I mean, it's always never. They can't. There's something that's mixed between the two. I feel like I have some left wing tendencies, but I also believe in the
Capitalism.
Capitalism, and I don't know why they can't mix.
So next week when we do part 2, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
See you next week.
All right.